Hi, this is Quentin Pooler. Here is my completed project for um, Project 2 It's the Bomb for GAM170 Game Workshop class. The goal of the project was to make a puzzle game that's themed around defusing a bomb. So I decided to make this out of Lego pieces and make it look like a bomb while still being a puzzle. So first, I'm just going to spin it around a little bit so that all angles are shown in the video. Then I will go over the how the game works and such. So here we have the front. There's a padlock here that prevents the top from being opened, and the goal of the game is to get something out of this top section before the timer runs out. And then so we've got around the sides here and a bunch of tubes that I use to make it look like wires around it to give the bomb appearance. So the goal of the game, like I said earlier, is to open the top and remove a part to count as you defuse the bomb. But to do that, this padlock in the way has to come off first. And there's a key hidden inside of this box that will unlock the padlock. On easy difficulty, the player should be able to do it on their first try, and so they have about 1 minute to figure out where the key is and unlock it. So just taking a quick glance around here, it should be evident to the player that there's a part right here that's sticking out like a handle. So if they were to pull that open, they'd find this drawer here that has the key inside it. So they can take the key out, slide the drawer back in, which I have apparently just accidentally bumped a piece that makes it so it's not going to shut. Anyway, that could be fixed fairly simply, but I will keep going for the sake of just showing how this works. So there's a little hole here on the lock of the padlock. You stick the key in, turn it. Now the padlock can be pulled open, turn the part of the padlock that keeps it locked, take the padlock off. Now the lid can be opened, and here's the inside. So here is the last little part to take out, and if they accomplish that before the 1 minute timer runs out, that counts as winning on easy difficulty. Now for normal difficulty, there's a separate part that the key would be hidden in, and normally the player would not see where it is going in, but to show where the key goes on normal difficulty, I'm going to keep just showing the puzzle outright so that it can be seen. So to even put the key in for the normal difficulty, you'd have to solve the puzzle. So on normal difficulty, it's still about a 1 minute timer, but this one is much more difficult to figure out. There's not really an obvious spot that you would look for another spot where the key would be, but there is. If the player is feeling around the edges, they might see, oh, look here, this part can be slid out and there's an arrow on it. On the inside of this, I'm not sure if it can be seen in the video, there's some yellow bricks on the inside that help guide the player as to what they're supposed to do with this, because there's a yellow arrow on it. So you could stick it in multiple different places. It doesn't seem to do anything, but if you put it in the correct spot, it doesn't slide anymore. You have to push a little bit harder, and that's where this drawer on the back that was completely flush can come out, and that's where you would put the key in for normal difficulty. So you put the key in there, slide it back in, and hopefully the player didn't see you just do that, so they would already know the solution. But that's where the key goes. You can put this little lever right back in where it came from, and now it's almost impossible to see where that was at initially. Then for the hard difficulty, you would just give less time to the player to figure it out, assuming they didn't do normal difficulty, because there's not a third puzzle in here. So the hard would just be less time and no hints, because during play testing I noticed even on normal, where the intention is the player fails the first time, even on that difficulty I still had to give hints to help guide what they should do. But on hard I wouldn't give any hints. So after putting that key back in there for normal, if you were setting it up for someone else to do, you would put open it back up, put the TNT line back inside and close it, put the key back on, or padlock, excuse me, and lock it again. Now it would be back to the default setting or state of the game. And that's essentially the gist of my game. Thank you for watching. Bye.